training. We call it MMT. So I know Yolanda is live in our webinar here. I know Jessica is watching. So thank you very much, guys, for coming over. And of course, this is going to be recorded and streamed live in our Alternative Career Masterclass, and also will be uploaded in our Invanto, or whatever Emma calls that fancy website that she has. So again, thank you very much, Emma. Let me know if I need to move this slide, and we will move on forward on our first or second masterclass. So,
yes, I know. I'm so excited. So Mike, I was just talking about how amazing he is with this. So I'm going to be having him talk a lot about his story, because he is the perfect example for this lesson. But in this lesson, we are going to be building off of what we did last week, which was talking about our unique selling point, talking about our niche. So we talked about the fact that, you know, we did some research on what do we want to do? Do we want to do health coaching? Do we want to do dementia caregiver coaching, dementia coaching for physical therapists and occupational therapists? Is it home modification? Is it doing a virtual wellness clinic? You know, there are so many different niches, and then really trying to hone that down into our unique selling point. What is unique about us? But what we now have to do is, now that we know sort of what we want to talk about and what we want to shape our business about, we actually have to now sort of pinpoint our language when we talk to the different people, say on a Facebook Live or on a post or on a blog. And we really want to do that by creating a story, creating your story. And so that's what we're going to do. And that's what Mike does really, really amazing. So we're going to be highlighting him throughout this presentation. But let's go to the slide here. And I'll talk to you a little bit about why should people follow or listen to you. So remember how when we were talking about our niche, we thought about what are our passions, our talents, what problems did we want to solve. So that's all those things are a list of things that can help us understand why people should follow us. I know I have a big problem sometimes with not feeling good enough. And so if we can have this list of knowing why we're special, what talents we have, that's going to help build credibility and help you when you are talking to your audience as well. So also remember those credentials. So remember, are you a physical therapist? Are you an occupational therapist? Are you an ATC? Are you an OCS, NCS, SCS? And so what I want you to do with your what's made you special and your credentials is now start to use that to create your story and to create the introduction that you are going to use on every video and post. It's sort of like your signature or like your tagline or your unique selling point. This is how people are going to remember you. So Mike always is like, oh, Emma is debt free, or Emma is the travel physical therapist. You know, I sort of have this unique point that is constantly being mentioned. And same with Mike. He's the dementia guy. He's the self-published author. And so he's the podcast guy. So it's all these continuing things that he's mentioned and we've mentioned. Use those in your introduction, and people will start to build credibility for you, and they'll start to relate to you, and they'll remember you from that. And this is what Mike is really good at, is every Facebook Live you hear him say, hey, it's Mike, I'm a certified dementia practitioner, self-published author. And he really does a really great job of repeating that throughout every video and post. And that's just it just helps. He's so memorable. You know, it just helps so much. So what I want you to do right now is create a list of what makes you special. Did you write a book? Was it, like, for example, Giselle, she's not in here right now, but she created a sensory gym, and now she travels all around the world, and she just has to work like one contract a year, and that's it. So like, that's huge. Like, that should be in her story somewhat. That should be in her introduction somewhere. And so what is special about you? Did you know, as a health coach, did you maybe lose 100 pounds? You know, did you help someone lose 100 pounds? So many different things. So think about what's unique and what's maybe standing out to make you special. So Yolanda, I wish I could lose 100 pounds. What do you think, Yolanda? What are some things that would attract people to you? Like, why should people follow and listen to you? And I know sometimes it's tough. It's sometimes really scary because we don't feel like we're special, or sometimes I don't feel like I'm special. And so this is going to not only help you prove to everyone else, but it starts to prove to yourself that you can do it. So we'll let you think about that, but let's go on to the next slide. We'll be building on top of this point. So like I said, the story, before you do anything else, like I know everyone is eager to do their online profiles and to make their Facebook group and their Facebook profile. And that's what we're going to do in the next lesson. And so we are really just about to launch. But what I really want you to do before you do that is understand what you are communicating, because everything we want you to try to do, we want you to try to have it be on your brand, have it be really about you being memorable. And this actually really helps people interact with you too. It helps people remember you. Like everyone remembers Mike because he's an amazing dementia practitioner and he's done so much. It helps people trust you because they know your credibilities every single time. It helps people understand what you're doing too. So if you create a story, it helps people relate to that and almost be like, hey, I'm in that same boat. And this really helps when you're doing all your videos and posts, because that's your starting point. The introduction is sort of like breaking the ice. And so if you already have your story, it's the perfect icebreaker. It's the perfect mold for your story. And so, for example, I started in healthcare as a healthcare entrepreneur, as a travel physical therapist. And so I share my story as basically that I had a great job. I loved it. I was a new grad. And then all of a sudden I had to move to the East Coast. And I could not find a job. I was a new grad, really didn't have that many skills. I had no money to my name. I had $150,000 in student debt to my name. And all of a sudden I had to move to the East Coast and I couldn't find work. I was applying, but I didn't have my licenses yet on the East Coast. And no one wanted to hire me. They wanted me to fly out, but I didn't have the money to fly out. And so we actually moved to the East Coast and I still did not have a job. But I finally took the risk and I started to do traveling. And I was so scared to do traveling. I was really afraid because I didn't know if it was I didn't know if traveling was reputable. I didn't know that much about it. No one in school ever talked about it. None of my friends were talking about it. In fact, when I brought it up, it was always like a negative energy. So I was really afraid. But then my boyfriend, now fiance at the time, was like, well, just take the risk. Just try it. It's only a 3-month contract. And if you don't like it, you can always just find another job. And so I decided to travel and I took that risk. And it was the best decision of my life because I was able to get so much mentorship. I was continuing to meet new patients, new therapists. I was able to travel all over the nation. And I was able to not only earn, but save $100,000 in just several years through traveling. And that's why I became a travel physical therapist. Do you see how all of a sudden, and I know a lot of you maybe aren't interested at all in traveling, but you see how that story, it personalized me. You were relating to me because you had debt. Maybe you felt lost, confused. So people interested in traveling really connected with my story. And I got on a lot of podcasts. I posted this and I had like 500 people join my Facebook group in just a couple days from one post. I really had no background, nothing, and didn't know anything about social media. But boom, just with my one story, that's what happened. And so that's why it's so important to share your story. So let's see. Let's see. So, okay. Yolanda. I love working with the geriatric population. I love working out, focusing on strength and balance. I do a lot of balance. So let's see. Yolanda, if you hit your microphone, you can come on. And do you want to maybe try to practice your story? It's up to you, no pressure. Or if Cindy's on or any of the other panelists, think about it. I'll keep going and then we can share our stories at the end. But do you see how that story really helped? Like hopefully it helped sort of you relate to me, relate to my circumstance, and maybe your circumstance was similar. Okay, so let's go to the next slide here. So how to create your story. So the first thing is what do you want to be known for? So for me, when I was first starting as a healthcare entrepreneur, it was traveling, because that's something that I felt like was unique. I had earned $100,000, and that's pretty hard to do. And especially with student debt, that was really important. So that's what I wanted to be known for, was the traveling, and also subsequently the debt freedom as a result. So what do you want to be known for? Is it health coaching? Is it fitness? Is it nutrition? Is it dementia? Is it pelvic floor? And then what are your credentials? What makes you credible? So for me, I was a physical therapist and a traveling physical therapist. So I actually did it. And so that was a credential, was, hey, I'm doing this. I did this. So that's what makes me credible to teach you then about traveling. And then the other thing that makes me credible was, in my story, I shared how I was able to save $100,000 in just several years. I used that, and that was really a huge credibility factor for me. So what makes you credible? And you may not have that really amazing factor right now. It's okay, but just start with something. And it could be even a patient example. This is why I went into health coaching, because I worked with a gentleman who was not able to walk for 6 years. And I came in and I worked with him, and through fitness education and through therapy and wellness, he was able to walk in just 2 months. And that's what I want to do for you. These stories, it doesn't have to be anything fancy with the credibility. It can even be a story can help make you credible. An example, a patient can help make you credible. Why are you choosing this life path? So Barbara, who's unfortunately not on, but she shared her logo in the Masterclass Facebook group. And she talked about why she chose that logo was because of a patient and a patient experience she had that really, really touched her. And so that is so important, because it shows your relatability. It shows that you are passionate about what you're doing, and it's patient focused, it's client focused, it's the other person focused, and not you focused. So it could have been maybe a life event to yourself or a life event to someone else, but why are you choosing this path? And then why are you different or better than others out there? So for me, with the traveling, I created free courses, and that funneled them to recruiters. But that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to create as much free content out there. And that was why I was different. I wasn't charging for content. I was absolutely free. And then I even got on free mentorship calls with them. And then that helped answer all their questions about traveling. And so that's why I really stood out compared to other people. And so that's what you want to ask yourself, is why are you different? Maybe it's like the other day, someone told me I'm helping someone start a pelvic physical therapy practice, a cash-based practice, but they're a yoga instructor, they're getting nutrition certified, and they're a PT. And so I'm like, well, there you go. It's your three-pronged approach. That's why you're different. You're not just doing just the physical therapy side of the pelvic pain approach, but you are also doing the yoga and the meditation and the flexibility and the strength, and then also the nutrition. So why are you different? So, I really encourage you right now, or if you're listening on the replay and in the recording, to write down these things, because you can use them as content later. You can reuse this to help you in your Facebook Lives, in your social media, and everything that you do. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the next slide here. So I'm using Mike a lot here because he's just amazing. But, this is his introduction. And so he really, every single time he comes on, he introduces himself. And he's always saying that he's a certified dementia practitioner. And he's a self-published author and a public speaker. And what he's doing for people and what he's sharing. And so it's just really constantly hooking people to watch him. So that's what I want you to do, is right now, let's maybe share some of these stories if you have it. And like I said, it can be rough, and you can actually sort of have several different stories. So for me, I do both the debt and the traveling. So I go back and forth between talking about refinancing and talking about my struggle with choosing public service loan forgiveness versus refinancing. And so it's okay to have several different stories that are similar topics and similar content. So anyone want to share? Do you want to share, Mike?
Yeah, I'm just muting myself. take off my video and taking off. We have a fancy cover for my camera. It's like what do you call this?
A piece of paper.
Post-it. You'll never know, So I'm actually eating and doing some stuff. I don't know if you guys, I was eating a bowl. It's called Kung Pao bowl. Kung Pao. So it's really spicy. So if you see me sweating, it's because of that. Well, anyway, I like what Emma was telling us here. And unknowingly, I've been doing live for like, I think a year or 2 years now. And before, I didn't have an introduction. And like what we were talking about earlier about, some of those influencers, they would do an introduction, a quick introduction like what I've been doing. So in our group, alternative career group, I try to end it with like an, hello everyone, my name is Dr. Mike Chua, physical therapist, certified dementia practitioner, and I am your alternative career coach. In that way, you hear, oh, he's the alternative career coach in this group. In my other group, in my misunderstanding dementia group, I just tell them, hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Mike Chua. I'm a physical therapist. I'm a certified dementia practitioner and the author of the Misunderstanding Dementia book. Just basically introducing, and actually, I'm doing it not to really introduce myself, but to really pump up myself, because you need to pump up yourself. You need to actually increase your energy. And when you're doing that to yourself, you're hearing it. When you're hearing it, you're actually getting, like a boost for yourself. And you need that for you. Everybody needs it. We need all the tap in the back. We need all this, all this encouragement that we can get, not just from other people, but we can get that encouragement from ourselves. Because if we are not confident enough in our own skills, in our own talent, guess what? Your clients, your customers, your avatar will not be confident too when they buy that product from you. So, try to keep doing it. For example, Cindy, are you a PT?
Yeah, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Cindy's a PT. We're all, irregardless if you're a PT, OT, assistant, CODA, PTA right now, you've got something. We are the actual experts in this field. We're not teaching other therapists. Before I was like,
I will be.
I'm like, oh gosh, am I worthy enough to teach my fellow therapists? I'm like, no, I'm teaching caregivers, family members of those caregivers. So I'm like, oh gosh, I know more than them on the basic dementia level. So, and that's what I've been doing, educating them about dementia. And then at the back of you, after doing your introduction, you're pumped up and, oh gosh, I'm Mike Chua. I'm a certified dementia practitioner or an author or whatever. And that is the reason why last week I was really trying to push you guys to at least write your own book. It doesn't have to be a really thick book. 40-page book is enough. Let me stop sharing here. Let me get a paper here. Sorry, I got my printer here. So if you can see, if you write, this is a whole, what do you call this? White paper, a whole bond paper or white paper. You write down stuff and cut it in half. That's already your book there. Make it as like a, how much? 14-point font. If you got 10 pages of a whole page, that's 20 pages already. Some lady reached out to me and she told me, Michael, or her name is Lily. And she said, Michael, I need your book. I want to give it as a giveaway because I want to talk about dementia. And I said, well, why buy mine? Copy what I have and let's self-publish you. And she's like, oh yeah, I'll be really good when I'm presenting this to my company. And I mean, it doesn't have to be really thick book, 20-page book, 30-page book is enough. And last week we talked about how you get what you call that, private label rights. We talked about that last week, how you can find somebody that will make your do the book for you, right? So you do that as early as now. If you're not confident as a therapist right now because you feel like, oh, everybody's a PT, oh, everybody's an OT, everybody's a PTA, or I'm a coda, what's my right to do Facebook Live? But if you have a book, oh gosh, you're going to be, oh, hello, my name is, whatever, for example, my name is John Smith. I'm a coda, and I have a book, by the way, and we're going to be talking about dementia or something like that. And that elevates your confidence. I'm not saying you be overconfident or whatever, but you want to develop your confidence. And that's the reason why we're here. We're here to bring out the best in you. And that's the reason why I've been pushing Barbara to do Facebook Live in our own little group right now. Because let's face it, Facebook or live videos, I mean, it's actually how you develop relationship with your clients and how you develop, a trust in your community, because that's what you're gonna do. And yeah, so I'm sorry, Emma, I keep on talking.
No, that was perfect. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That was perfect. So I think Melissa, let's see, Melissa, you want to go? If you just hit your microphone, you can unmute yourself. But while we're seeing if Melissa wants to go live, like for example, Yolanda wrote here. Oh, perfect. Let me hit.
Hello?
Yes, you're good.
Oh, good. For some reason, I can't hear you well, though. I'm Melissa Strauss, and I'm an occupational therapist working in skilled nursing facilities. I have experience in pediatrics and mental health as well. The last 3 years at a skilled nursing facility that I was working at, I helped facilitate a changeover from just a general skilled nursing to a dementia unit. I was responsible for training the therapy department, nursing, and education of staff. Throughout the years, I've had people stop and ask me advice on for their loved ones with dementia or post-surgical things, and always eager to help out. And a lot of times you find out a little later that the advice you gave them was really helpful. And I've always thought that would be great if I could provide consultation.
Yeah, I like it. Exactly. Just certain things I would maybe, put in different places. So your story doesn't have to, like my traveling story, that's like my long story. But, sometimes my introductions would be, hey, I'm Dr. Emma Shapiro, and I'm a traveling physical therapist. And I was able to not just save, but earn $100,000 in traveling. And I want to help you do the same, and then go over certain things. So what you can do with that is just for different time points or different topics, you could pick out different things of the story to go over. And so you could have a bigger story for maybe when you're on podcasts, for, the introduction to a book, if you write a book, for certain blog posts, and then have different smaller bits of that for when you're doing your introductions. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
And then Yolanda too. So I think she's having some mic problems, but hers is that she said that she has several family members who have had falls with mild injury. I know their falls were more so related to a lack of mobility. They didn't know what to do to improve their mobility and reduce their falls. And so that's why she gives away a lot of her exercises and movement ideas away. And so that's sort of what she does. And so I think it's a great start to creating your story of, hey, I'm here on this Facebook Live and I want to show you this exercise because this is how my dad broke his hip. And I want to show you this exercise so that you can prevent the same as well. Something like that, bits and pieces. Perfect. Cool. Let's go. Oh, Cindy. Hey, Cindy, you want to go next too?
Yeah, can you hear me? Everything looks different tonight, so I'm not sure if I'm doing it right or not. But I would say, hi, my name is Cindy, and I've been a physical therapist for over 30 years in practice. I've recently earned my doctorate in physical therapy, and I've been working in skilled nursing for the last 15 years. I have a huge heart for our elderly population, and it's really been challenging for me working in skilled nursing to be able to effectively treat and get positive outcomes with our dementia clients. Because of that, I have pursued additional training through the Teepa Snow organization, and I'm really excited to come and help ease your frustration as other therapists working with patients to help you find new ways to interact with these folks to gain the outcomes that we all desire.
Good.
Boom.
Now, have you seen any special growth in your career as a result of dementia training, Cindy, or maybe any extra income or earnings?
It's all just happening now.
Okay.
You know, I'm shifting into that arena where
Gotcha.
that's going to be the focus of things. And I have spoken at area therapy associations. I've spoken at churches. So I forgot to say, I'm a public speaker too, just like Mike. But I haven't done the book yet.
Well, perfect. Exactly. So, and your story can evolve. So
Right.
It's like, so at first, we don't have a lot of accolades. Like when I first started doing the traveling, I didn't have much. And so it's like slowly you grow and you grow this out, it's bit by bit, you have your podcast and then you have your book and then you have other things. So you don't have to do all of it right away, but bit by bit, you can grow out these accolades and your story can adjust. So Cindy, maybe if you get an amazing consulting, you find a facility where you could do consulting and they pay you like $1,000 to consult, that would be something that I would want to add in there and be like, hey, through my dementia education, not only have I been able to see better patient results, but I've been able to pick up consulting clients and earn $1,000 per consulting job. And I want to teach you to do the same.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't know if I'm really interested in doing that. I'm really more interested in just alleviating the frustration all of us therapists have because we don't know what to do with those folks. So,
Gotcha.
And if that is something that people wanted to do, I could, but that wouldn't be my focus. My focus is more everybody always talks about how hard it is. And all we do is go around and discharge patients because we don't know what to do with them. And my heart is to equip folks to have some skills where they can feel like they're making a difference again.
Definitely.
Which is what we all want to do as therapists.
Definitely.
So.
Well, exactly. You can be the dementia educator. Mike is really focusing on teaching caregivers. And so there's really not one out there. I mean, when you think about who's doing what, you have Mike doing dementia for caregivers and ACG, of course. You have like David Bailiff, he's your mobile PT guy. Right. You have, Dustin Howard as the personal training combo PT. Like everyone has their specific segment. And so you just have to find your specific segment. Good. Okay, so hopefully, did that answer everyone's questions about why it's so helpful to create a story and why it's so important to create a story? Hopefully it did. In the chat, you can put in the chat if you can say, I'm going to copy Mike. Put value in the chat if you saw value.
So I have you.
Awesome. Okay, let's go on to the next slide here.
Okay, dear. Yeah.
Woohoo! Thanks, Cindy. Value. Okay, so have several different stories. So I'm copying this. I was doing some because I really, I don't know everything. Mike doesn't know everything. But a lot of what people are teaching, you learn from everyone else. And so if you go to Entrepreneur on Fire, he is such a helpful person and inspiration. And you can start listening to his podcast and he's great. But he is really the avatar and story expert. And so what he actually says is to have different stories for different like actions you want that person to take. And that's sort of what I was getting at with the stories as we just shared is, so for him, he has his podcasting course. That's what he promotes. He's a big podcaster, so he promotes that. But he also has this like journal. It's like an entrepreneurial journal. And so when you listen to his podcast, pay attention because he'll be alternating. And so certain times in the introduction, it'll be, hey, are you lost and confused? Well, check out my journal. And then it'll go on to his podcast. He does a better introduction than that. But, you know, so different purposes may require different versions of your story, and different versions of your story, you know, that to then get them to get your client to then do a different interaction. So maybe it's to buy a book, or is it to sign up to your podcast? Or is it to start your, you know, take your health coaching program? There's all sorts of different purposes, and your introduction and stories can try to be aligned with those different purposes. So for me, I would go back and forth between the traveling and the debt for that. And now with the entrepreneurism, you know, I'm trying to share different stories about my struggles as an entrepreneur to help with getting people into the masterclass. Did you want to share something
on that, Emma, since you mentioned John Lee Dumas? His name is JLD, John Lee Dumas. He's called the Entrepreneurs on Fire. So I actually have his journal. I have one here. It's called
the Freedom Journal, right?
So it's Freedom Journal. And actually, this is where I copied my actual journal itself. I have his journal. I bought it. And all you need to do is mimic it. You're not, what you call this? You're not plagiarizing. So I mimicked it. You know what I called it? Caregiver Freedom Journal. So every time I'm going live, hello everyone, this is Dr. Mike Chua, physical therapist. I'm a certified dementia practitioner. Are you having a hard time taking care of your loved ones who has dementia? Guess what? You can download my book for free on my website, drmikechua.com, Misunderstanding Dementia. And when I developed that relationship with them, and they were like, excuse me, and they're like, oh, I'm having a hard time with my mother, et cetera, et cetera. If they buy my coaching program, obviously I give this Caregiver Freedom Journal for free, but they can buy it for like, I think $15 in Amazon. And it's basically a journal. Let me open it up. Do you guys see it?
Yeah.
It's basically, let's go to the page 1. So Caregiver Freedom Journal, day 1, nighttime. What are 2 wonderful things that happened today? It's just a journal. Same thing again and again. Same thing for journal day 2, day 3, day 4. And it's a journal for your client, you know. So for, I know Cindy and Melissa, you're targeting my same market group, you know, dementia. You can copy this, make it your own, just change it, whatever, you know, whatever. I asked somebody to copy it, and her specialization is stroke. So her journal is a stroke journal, something like that. You just change it. I mean, I'm going to show it to you again. It's just lines and lines, you know, and stuff like that. And you know how much JLD, John Lee Dumas, is selling his journal? I think he's selling it for $50. And then it's going to be what you call this? A recurring revenue for him, because it's like 60 days of journaling. Mine is how many days is this? 62. 62 days. So if they finished up their last page, they're going to buy it again for like $15. So you can do this too for your thing, you know. Remember, yes, we are therapists. Our nature is to help people, okay? Our nature is to help people. Cindy, Yolanda, Melissa, or Jessica, if you're watching in Facebook, yes, we want to help people. But if you're not earning, if you're not selling something, it's a hobby. And yes, we want to help people for free, quote unquote, pro bono. But if this hobby is, you need to make money out of it. If you're not making money out of it, it's just a hobby, you know, pastime. You need to make money, because that's the reason why you're here. You're paying already $20 a month to learn from us, and I want you guys to earn money from it. There's nothing wrong speaking for free. I mean, I did it too. Don't get me wrong, I did it too, but time will come. You need to get paid. You need to get paid because your time is valuable. You know, because your knowledge is valuable. So learn how to charge. It doesn't have to be really big. My small mastermind, the group that I have called Alzheimer's Prime and Training and Education, it's $4.99 a month. Basically, I'm teaching them how to be a better caregiver as a dementia caregiver. Um, there are speaking engagements that like what Cindy was talking about. When you talk for in churches, that's okay. It's free, but you got to make sure you're closing. You're always closing. When you're out there speaking for free, quote unquote, for free, don't just think it's free. At the end of the day, at the end of that lecture, try to get a Part B patient, just at least one. If you got 10 people there, I'm sure there's someone there that can be treated as a Part B patient. And that way you're not just doing it for free. So I know I know we're all givers and everything, but I don't want you burning out because I've been there. I was just like out there giving out free stuff. And I just forgot, I got to take care of myself too. Now I'm doing free group exercises in an assisted living. It's free. Once a week, I go there every Friday, 3:00, group exercise. I give my all. I give them the best group exercise. I make them laugh. I would just make them laugh. I bring some crazy stuff and then do a raffle at the end and ask them to count out loud, just really, really loud, like they're shouting. It's free. But at the end of the session, I would really literally tell them, hey, who needs therapy? Oh, me, I want some therapy now. So you need that. All right. I hope I was able to push you guys. Because,
that's so great, Mike. That's like so great. You're such an inspiration. Mike is amazing. Value for Mike right there.
There you go.
But
I just want everybody to make money. Here's the thing. Once you get it, once you start, they will pay you cash. I got like 2 cash pay patient right now. They don't have they have Medicare, but I said, you're not skilled. I don't want to bill Medicare for you because you are such a high level person that I cannot bill Medicare because you're such an awesome patient. And they would tell me, what the heck? I'm going to pay you cash, Michael. And if I can do that, you guys can do it too. Charging cash, charging whatever value you can get. I just would like to encourage you. I had one client in Vietnam just because I go live. I had one client in London, in Australia, and what else? Of course, in the Philippines. But the Philippines is very, very affordable. So, all right. So if I can do it, you can do it too. Just put yourself out there, guys, because it's not complicated. Just follow Emma's step. So, all right, I'll stop talking.
Well, and even with the book, so like Mike's example of the Caregiver Journal, we talked about it in the last episode in the last lesson where he uses that just sort of to give it away. But like if you're doing this online, you can have this be on your website and have it basically be that they sign up to an email list to get your free book. So you can do it paid or free, but they get your free book. And then now they're getting your content, they're getting your emails. And then with those emails, you can be like, hey, here's all our content, but, if you want personal training or if you want wellness coaching, here I am, here's my link or here's my course, here's this. And so it's a really great way to build leads as well. And we'll be talking about the flow of different things that you can choose to do to help collect leads and other things. But it's just one example there. Okay, so now let's go to the next slide, which is we're going to start creating your avatar. We talked about the different stories and we talked about John Lee Dumas. So we can go to the next one here. Cool. Okay, so your ideal client or avatar. Why is this so important? So this is so important because sometimes we can we can struggle with our story and have it be what we think is best. But really what we want to actually have it be is much more focused on the client, the patient. Who are you serving? The physical therapist. And so creating your ideal person will help you come back to them every single time when you get stuck. You can be like, oh, what would my avatar what would their question be about this? Or what would be their concern with this? And it's really going to help you with creating your content and making your story and making it patient or client focused. So with your avatar, I want you to write this out, but give them a name. Is it going to be a male or a female? And for some people, it doesn't matter who it is. But then what is their age? So for Cindy, she wants to focus on sharing her information with physical therapists to help them become better practitioners. So maybe that would be 30 to 50-year-olds. For Melissa and Yolanda and Barbara, maybe that clientele would be maybe a little bit older if you're doing more treatments. So maybe it's that, 50 to 70-year-olds. But think about the age. What is the struggle or the pain that they're going through? So as a health coach, are you focusing on weight loss? Is this, are you targeting people that are overweight and are really struggling with moving as a result of their weight? Are they struggling with knee pain and back pain? You can focus on these different pinpoints. What is their diagnosis? What are their fears and what do they want to learn? And, you may not know this avatar perfectly yet, which is okay, but we can create sort of a temporary avatar. And we're going to come back to our avatar when you create your Facebook group and when you start doing posts, because the avatar will actually help create your sales pitch. So if you're wanting to talk about selling your health coaching platform or, your dementia course, you want to use the same language that your avatar is using. And so we'll talk about in the group how we can figure out these exact pain points, these exact struggling points, the exact fears, and exactly what they want to learn later. But for now, just sort of come up with, as best as you can, the avatar that you want to work with. Who is your ideal client and your ideal patient? Okay.
Emma, can I share something again?
Yes, please.
Let me stop again. Cindy and Melissa, I don't know if I mentioned it to you last week. Let me go back again. If you need content for dementia, you can get my 365 daily tips for dementia caregivers. Just copy it, sisters. Go ahead and copy it. Just change it, change your name and everything. You need like 10 tips for dementia caregivers. Get it from here. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's not a whole thing, very, very simple. Just change it. And we got the same clients. You can change it. Let me show you my Facebook page. Are you seeing my Facebook? No.
I don't know if it'll do it because you're streaming to Facebook. Do you think it'll be weird?
Okay. Let me show you. I guess I'm going to stop. I guess I got to start sharing my screen so you can see it, right? Duh. So are you seeing my Facebook page now?
Yeah.
So let's go to my my actual Misunderstanding Dementia page. Well, it's still loading. Well, it's still loading. Well, anyway, just so you know, you guys can get whatever, I'm not going to just copy it. If you need content on your Facebook page or whatever, copy mine, just if you want to copy it word by word, I don't mind. If you want to change it, just go ahead and change it. If you win, we win. Okay. If you win, it's not loading. I'm sorry. My Facebook page is not loading. Oh, there it is. Okay. Are you seeing it?
Not yet.
No. I guess I got to share it again. All right. So here is my, the actual, well,
there we go.
It's not even.
But it's not.
So this is, it's not pulling out stuff. Well, anyway, so this is the page. So, internet is just slow because we're using Zoom. Oh, there you go. So here we're going to be talking about how you sell stuff on your website or on your Facebook page. You get money out of it. We're going to be talking about that. See the tips here, tip number 34, because today is the 34th day. So I have 365 daily tips, right? So today is the 34th day. So tip, watch out for nonverbal cues, speaking to stuff like that. And this actual picture here was done by my assistant. Her name is Natasha, and she does it for me automatically, and she already did it. Now you can copy this, you can screenshot it, just edit it or whatever, or Emma can teach you how to use it on Canva. Is that how you say it, Emma? And it's very easy. It's very easy. It's just like if you know how to post a picture in your Facebook, you know how to do this. It's very easy, putting words in a picture and stuff like that. And the same tips that you're actually doing here is actually your content for your Facebook Live. So sometimes I would go live in this page here, Misunderstanding Dementia page, and I would say, hey, hello, everyone. Again, this is Dr. Mike Chua, physical therapist, certified dementia practitioner. Today, we got tip number 34 of my book, 365 Daily Tips for Dementia Caregivers. Tip number 34, watch out for nonverbal cues. Bam, 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 bam. All right. And then you do your closing thing. Oh, if you need more information, reach out to me, go to my website, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you did, you already got this. So you got some content on my side, and then, you just use it. Cindy and Melissa, I know. Yolanda, you can actually do it too. I think you're targeting that group too, right? Fall risk. So you can probably just change it to, 365 tips to prevent from falling or something like that. To remember last week we talked about that book called Stability for Seniors. Maybe, Yolanda, Cindy, Melissa, you guys can talk about, different stuff, and all three of you can make a book, what that stuff there, we all four of us here. I mean, let's exclude Emma because she's the debt-free lady. But, Cindy, Yolanda, Melissa, all four of us right now, we can write our own book called whatever, Prevent Falls or something like that. A lady just sent me her book. I forgot her. Let me get. Her name is Ginaline Reuter. I told her to copy my book. I mean, it totally looks like my book. I don't know if you noticed. Totally looks like my book. I don't know if you're looking at it. It's actually the same pattern of my book, same color, same design, and she copied it. She copied it, and it's like how many pages? 70 pages, and look at that, the fonts, and she put pictures on it and stuff like that, and the font is really big, and then boom, she's got a book already. So if she can do it, you guys can do it too. All right, Yolanda, Cindy, Melissa. All right, okay. I'm sorry, Emma. I keep on sharing.
Good. You're good.
I'll let you take over again. Sorry.
Oh, just a little bit more, guys. You're doing great. Okay, so let's keep going here. So let's go to the next slide here. Okay, so now we're going to be diving into a little bit more about the avatar, because next lesson, like I said, we're actually going to be creating our social media graphics and our profiles. And so, but I don't necessarily want everyone to start trying to be the Twitter master, the YouTube master, the Instagram master, the Facebook master. I can tell you, because I run ACG, so I do the back end for our website. I work full time. I try to help out in the Facebook group. I try to do the YouTube videos. I try to do the YouTube posting, and it is a lot. It is a lot. And so to start, and I mean, definitely we want you to build up to that, because all these different platforms are really helpful. But to start, it's going to be overwhelming. And so what I want you to try to do is to figure out, where do you want to start next week? What social media outlet do you want to try to focus on? And you can do that by trying to think about, where does your avatar hang out? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitter? Is it YouTube? For a lot of you, I'm probably going to say Facebook is the best place to start, just because you have groups, which are just an amazing way to have interaction, to get people to sign up for your group, because you sort of have this natural SEO in Facebook where they search your group and your group can pop up. But think about it. Perhaps, some fitness, Instagram is really good. and YouTube as well. So think about, where does your avatar hang out? And then from there, you can prioritize what social media outlet do you want to try to focus on first. Because I'm going to tell you, it's going to be really challenging to try to do all of them great at once. Okay, just a little bit about that. And you can, if you're trying to figure out, well, how do I know where my avatar hangs out? What you can do is some research. So you can go on Facebook and type in the topic that you want to do and see what groups pop up, see what posts pop up. And you just do it right in the Facebook search bar, just as if you found this group, you can do that. And so you can basically go in and be like, I don't know, dementia, and see what comes up, and then dementia caregiver, what comes up, and go from there to search. And so that's really helpful. Exactly. Yeah. Facebook is an older platform, so most people are aware of it. Exactly. So like TikTok, I don't know what TikTok is. I guess I'm too old for TikTok. It's a new thing, but like that probably isn't the best place to start for an older population, because they're going to be like, what? That's my clock. Okay. So, okay, next one. But just think about, where do you want to focus on social media? So once again, you can do the market research. You can go to Google and see, what's the first thing that pops up? Is it a YouTube video? Is it a Facebook group? Search in Facebook for various groups and posts. Do the same thing for YouTube. So go to YouTube and search dementia, search, your topic, and see what pops up. And this is actually really awesome when we go to competitor research. And what that is basically, you're going to find key influencers that are sort of doing the same thing as you. And then we can get lots of ideas from them to help you sort of create your monthly content calendar before you launch your business. Or if you've already launched it, help you create a better content calendar. Okay, next. So these are just some more examples. I used some of these last week, but these, I just wanted to bring them up again because I just feel like right away their story, their unique selling point. And so, with Kelly Start and the Ready State, right away, he's a doctor, it's tailored to you, it's customized mobility coaching, and his goal is to relieve pain, prevent injury, and improve physical performance. So like, what is your goal with your business? So our goal with this masterclass and alternative healthcare careers is to help you become a healthcare entrepreneur. So something simple like that, to help you be known for you. What is your story? So I got a couple more examples that we can quickly go through. So once again, Jessica Drummond, she has this huge health coaching program. And so I thought this would be really helpful for you, Cindy, because you want to educate physical therapists or therapists on, improving their ability to treat people with dementia. And so for you, this could be, launch and expand your dementia practice, something like that with unique and effective education programs. You can use these other key influencers that are doing something similar and use them to help create your selling point, your story, and what you want to be known for. Couple more. Thanks, Mike. So Tepa Snow, become a dementia care champion. That's her goal, is to help you become a dementia care champion right there at the top. So what do you want to do? And this is the language that you're going to use with everything that you do, starting with the next lesson where we create your social media profiles and your graphics and everything like that. One more. Yeah, Mike Reinold is next, and so he's great. I help people feel, move, and perform better. And note that he's really coming at it from the perspective of the patient, of the client. How do I help you? Okay, so this is something that Mike uses. Mike, do you want to talk a little bit about the customer avatar worksheet? I can too.
You go ahead.
Okay, so this is just a worksheet that, and we'll get all these slides to you guys, but basically this helps you understand the challenges and pain points. It puts everything in just sort of a really well laid out worksheet for you so that you can go back and take a look at this. But where would they be hanging out? What sources of information do they look for? What are their struggles? What are their goals? What are their values? What are their objections, their fears, or their concerns? What are their stopping points? This avatar worksheet is so helpful. And this is from Digital Marketer. So we did not, we don't, we didn't, this is not our unique worksheet, but it's something that is really, really helpful to use to create your avatar. And this is how we're going to build your brand. So going on to the next slide here, basically to sum it up, when you launch your social media profiles, we want to make sure that you have your avatar, you have your story, you have your unique selling point, and you have your niche. We want to make sure that when you're doing all of this, you want to know, what does your avatar want to learn? What are their struggles? What are their goals? And what's stopping them from meeting their goals? And like I said, when we do launch your social media profiles, like Facebook, for example, we can get clear on this, and we'll put this in our posts, in our welcome posts, in our initial posts, and we'll get a better feedback for what people want to learn. And then that can help us refine our story and refine our avatar. But for now, really, really write down your niche, write down your talents and your passions, and write down your avatar information and your story. Okay, so that's it pretty much for today. Yep, write it down. So what we're going to do next week is we're going to create our logos. So we're going to do our branding next week. So we're going to pick our colors. So I want you to think about your colors. I'll be going over some information on colors. You can do your research as well ahead of time for the colors. We're going to create our logos. We're going to do it together so you can watch me do it so that you can do it at the same time. And if you have any questions, we can do them together. Also, just like Mike said, a book is so helpful. It helped me launch who I am today, and it's helped Mike, and it's going to help you. So we're not going to be doing a whole book on like something to self-publish on Amazon. Next lesson, that'll be in the future, but I'm going to go through how to create a quick free ebook. So at least you can start getting that out there, and you can put that as a freebie in your Facebook groups, on your Facebook profile, on your website, to start getting leads or just start getting more people to interact with you. And for next week, make sure that you have like your best photo handy, your headshot handy, because that's probably to create like your profile for Facebook groups or for your Facebook profile. So we'll be going over all of that. Does anyone have any questions?
Emma, can we do a headshot ourselves, or is it better to have something professionally done?
So, it depends. I mean, so I'm going to be going over how to remove the background of images. So if you take a look at some of like Mike's graphics and some of my newer graphics, I'm removing the background, and that makes things look a lot more professional. But if you just have like a nice photo, you don't need to have it be professional at all. Just like maybe a nice photo of you treating someone, or just a nice photo with a nice background, that works perfectly fine.
Okay, so headshot isn't really just a headshot then. It could be a body shot, huh? If we're treating.
Oh, yes. I meant just like, yeah, exactly. Nice photo. It could be.
Yeah, I've used headshots for other organizations and such, and that's what I was curious. So, okay, you get me.
Yeah,
good.
It's just whatever picture you look best in. If you like your headshot photo, use that. If you like another photo, use that. It's whatever you think about. The photo that I want you to have handy is the one that is going to be potentially like on your group banner and in some different places. And so you want to pick one that helps represent you and helps represent your brand. So like, for example, Giselle, she has this one where she's got these sort of like, she does the sensory gym. So she has these like cute, colorful balls and like her kids near her. And that's what she uses a lot in her website and throughout her social media. And so but she wants to convey that because it's a sensory gym. She's got kids and fun toys. And so it's, what do you want to convey on your graphics? Good question.
Cindy, that's a great question. I'm really cheap. I work right now with what I have. So all my headshots are just taken from my phone. And it has that portrait mode. But here's the thing. Right now, I'm inside a mastermind group called the Impact Speakers Academy. And these are all professional speakers. They travel around the world, and they actually pay somebody to really, take pictures of them. But here's the thing. They are being paid like $5,000, $10,000 per speaking engagement, and they can afford it. If you can afford it, why not? If you know somebody who you can pay for like $70, $50 during your lecture, go ahead. That's what I do. I have this administrative assistant that I have, and I would call her, hey, I'm here in this assisted living right now. Can you take a picture of me? And she'll take a picture of my phone or on her fancy camera. I pay her $50. If you got extra money, I mean, it could be really costly, because I did that too, like several years ago. I wanted to have a fancy background on my website and everything, and I didn't even use it because I didn't look good that time. So, use what you've got right now. Use your phone, ask somebody, get a good tripod, just put a timer in. Let me show you what I have on my Facebook page. Are you seeing my Facebook page? So
Yep.
on my actual personal page, on the top here on my banner, this is my personal page. Okay. So you're going to be an influencer slash the voice of whatever you want to do. So you might want to spruce up, or however you call that, bump up your own personal page plus your business page. So here in my own personal page, I have my banner here. I got this picture here that I have. And I don't know if you notice, I just wear these blue scrubs all the time. This is actually just on my phone. My wife took it for me. That's it. It's on a portrait mode. It looks fancy. So for me, it looks fancy. And then that's it. Let me turn that off. Some of the pictures that I have here are actually also just you'll see random pictures in other people, right? But you have to set it up too, for your even your personal page. You're here now in this master class. Your own personal page will be your own promotional page. Okay, so Emma could really will agree with me that too, because the business page, yes, that's good if you're gonna pay for sponsored ads. That's good. But if you don't have the budget right now to do Facebook ads and sponsored ads, you're just gonna lose the game there, because it will not pop up on other people's feed. But if you have your own personal page, it will pop up on other people's feed. So your own personal page needs to be your quote unquote business page now. All right. So in my bio here, I have my own bio here. I help dementia caregivers bring out the best in them by offering my books, live and online courses. So they would see, oh, Mike is that one there. And I just put my stuff here, and then even the actual pictures here, those are all set up. It's all set up that people will see who am I and what do I really do. So it's just there. It's what do you call this, Emma? Featured
Yeah.
featured photos.
Like pinned photos. Yeah.
Pinned photos. So in that way they could see me. Oh, so that's him. Because if it's just a random pictures of me, like I'm holding a beer or whatever, it's like, oh, should I believe this guy? No. So you need to bump it up, and of course be not too professional, but put a little bit of family too. So I put family too. So here I graduated, stuff like that. Like Cindy, she graduated her doctorate degree, and then of course here a little bit of generational leadership summit that I spoke, stuff like that. And then I got this award from another group, and then that's me and my wife, in some conference, and then stuff like that, and another summit that I did. And you need to spruce up your social media page. In that way they can see you're a real person, and at the same time you're also serious with what you're doing as a therapist or as a influencer in your arena. So did that make sense? If that makes sense, comment made sense in the chat box.
Exactly.
All right.
And we'll be going over each of this. We'll be going over this a lot more in-depth, step-by-step, next lesson. But exactly, everything should be branded, because people
Yeah,
are going to do
that's the word
research
there
on
I
you.
was looking for.
Exactly.
So,
People are going to do research. Like even, anyone who works with you, they're probably going to go to your profile and be like, who's Cindy? Who's Melissa? And they're going to look at your personal profile. They're going to look at your business page too, but they're also going to look at you. And so all of those social media profiles, we want them to be just really, really nicely done. So we'll be going over, doing your graphics and setting all of that up. And really soon you guys will get going. So the good stuff is coming. The good stuff is coming. Now, who wants to be my live example for next week? So who wants, if you can type in, and whoever shares like the coolest, like the best comment about how Mike and myself are doing in the masterclass in our alternative careers for rehab group, I will help you and you'll be the example for next week. So we'll on the air make your graphic for your social media, for your Facebook group, and things like that. So post how you think we're doing right now in the masterclass in the ACG group later on, and then you guys can share. I'll get in touch with one of you, and then we will live next week. We'll make your graphics. We'll do it all together. We'll answer any questions, and we'll get that up and going so that you guys look great. Any last things, Mike? That's pretty much it on my end.
let me ask you a question, Emma. I know
Yeah.
we're running for late again. Are you going to help us or them make their own website on the masterclass?
Excuse me. Yes. Yep. For you guys initially, yes, I am. So
Oh
obviously as
gosh,
this gets
okay.
going, maybe not, but step by step,
Mhm.
and it'll be just the basic one. If you have
Yeah, the
some
one
really,
page. Oh
exactly,
gosh,
really
that is such a great
complex.
value, guys.
Yeah.
Cindy, Yolanda, Melissa, I know Jessica, and the rest of the people who are actually watching on the replay for our small group right now. That is such a great deal. Just to let you know, Natasha's not here right now. You know how much I paid her for her to start my website? It's $3,000, and there's a maintenance fee of $400 a month. Just to let you know, let me show you my website. Nothing against Natasha, but Emma's website is way much. I'm gonna say this in a nice way, much smoother. When it comes to the
Yours
website
looks really
itself.
good too, Mike.
Well, mine is okay. Let me just compare it, guys. Okay, let me compare it to you guys. Okay, this is my VA's website. She did this. I paid her top dollars to do this. How much did I say? I can't even
3,000
remember.
you said, and then like a
And I pay
$500
her
maintenance.
like $400 a month just to keep it and maintain it. Okay. Yes, it's a complicated website. It has to download stuff. It has my courses inside. It has my podcast. Yes, it's complicated. It has all my books, and there's a store here that people can buy too. But Emma can do that for you guys. And look at the difference. Does it? It looks. I mean, Emma's website is much. I mean, it's nice. It's much smoother. And even my own VA says, "Oh, she makes a good website." And this is already a professional virtual assistant that this lady here who's doing this for me. She's already a professional website developer, and she's even impressed with Emma's whatever website that she does. So if you have the chance to use Emma and do all, grab the opportunity, because she does a good job in this website creation. I don't know what I'm doing. So I mean, look, just letting you know, this is, yes, my website is complicated. It has all these interviews that I do with other doctors. I would interview them and stuff like that and talk to different doctors in the area. But Emma can do it too. There's also video there. There's also stuff here. It's almost the same, so.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Thanks. Well, I really I wanted to add this because when I when I said that, I wanted to make these websites, is because the fact that like I talk to so many people who have done other courses and done other things that don't have their website already made, and they're already paying the monthly fees for their website. They're already paying for the hosting. And I'm like, so the course you went through, you don't have it up and ready. And I don't want that for any of you guys. I don't want the technical issues to be the problem. I want you to be able to just have everything ready in a really short amount of time so that you can go and start sharing and not have to worry about it. It took me a lot of time and stress when I first started making websites too. And it's like, you don't need to deal with that. You don't need to deal with that. So I'm really happy to offer it as a unique feature for now. And hopefully I can continue to do that. But I'm very proud of the websites, and I've got a lot of amazing templates already up there. So,
I'm just seeing Brianna's post in Facebook. She said my business is inspired by witnessing how caregivers and families were. There's. Yep. So.
Thanks, Cindy. you like my fiance?
Oh, I like him too. So. He's really good looking, right?
Now you're gonna make me blush. Okay, well, I think that's it for today. But thank you so much, Cindy, Melissa, Jessica, Yolanda, for being on here the whole time and really showing up, working so hard. And if I can get to every one of you, I will. So send me the graphic that you want to like put in, and send me sort of what you want your like group name to be and things like that. And then on air, we'll be doing live, we'll be doing it, and I'll try to get through as many as possible.
Okay, guys.
But
yeah.
Yep.
I know it's overwhelming. I know it's a lot, but just remember the word focus, FOCUS. Focus on one course until successful. I know it's a lot, but just do one thing at a time. Okay, guys. So Yolanda was asking about the credentialing training. It's going to be tomorrow. We're going to be interviewing, what's his name? Steve Gluck. He's the CEO of the Hello Note. So
nice.
He's going to help us walk through, well, not literally, I mean, not just right now, but, he's going to help us how to credential us with Part B. So,
awesome.
Yep, we need
so
that.
much
You
value.
guys need it.
Yay.
Right now, you may feel like you don't need it because, I'm good with my job right now. And that's what I was in my situation 2 years ago. I was like, I'm good right now. I work at the nursing home. I have my own health gig contract. Good thing I did it. Until I got fired, I'm like, oh gosh, good thing I have this. So you have it now. You start getting yourself credentialed now. And then that way you can, you just in case something happens, you already got yourself credentialed. And Melissa said, great value so far and has supported and reinforced the education room. Yep. Yeah. Greg Todd is awesome. All right. So again, tell me a story about, Yolanda. Yeah, I got fired. You don't know, Yolanda? I got fired last month in December. I'm looking at my calendar. December the 18th on that Christmas party that we're having. I bought everybody gifts. So I give them gifts. So after they fired me. So it's just crazy. So we're all, what do you call that word? Expendable, indispensable. English is not my first language. I'm running out of English. So we're all expendable. I mean, even I was actually laughing when they told me, Michael, we're letting you go. I'm like, are you serious? Yeah, we're letting you go. I'm like, of all the people you're going to fire, it's me. I was interviewing every single, I'm so mad right now, right? I was interviewing every single department and every single administrator and every single marketer, their clinical liaison in every offices that I served. I had like 4 offices that I was serving and providing therapy, and they fired me. And they know I was like the drmikechuba.com. I had the books and everything. It didn't help. It didn't help. Just to let you know. I mean, it helped,
Well, that's why it's so important to have multiple streams, though, is because we are so expendable. We can get fired at any time. And so having all these talents, and even if you aren't really successful with what you're trying to do right now, you can take that and you can take this and you can bring it to another clinic and be like, hey, yeah, I could do your clinic's podcast. I could do your clinic's videos, and you can take this and you can really stand out as a director, stand out as, so many things if you're trying to grow a practice or when you're being hired. And it really will help you in whatever you do.
And it actually made me better and push. I was in that stages of grief. I was in that denial stage. I was angry. I'm like, gosh, I mean, I was doing everything for you guys. I would work Saturday and and I'm not bragging, but my documentation is because I do auditing. I do chart audits. That's my side hustle too. And I got fired. And now I like it better because I choose to who I serve. I Medicare Part B, and those Part B patients that I see in assisted living, I'm actually they are not the type of home health patient that you're forcing them to do therapy. There are patients in the nursing home that you're forcing them to do therapy, right? Part B patients that you see at home because they're all, they had this knee surgery, they had this and that. They want to get better, and I'm enjoying working with them now. Yolanda said, I'm a DOR in 2 buildings, so this is helpful to me at work and on my own. It pushes you to do
Yay.
more. Yep. I'm not saying being an employee is bad, but you got to prepare yourself, guys. I've been a DOR. I've been a director of rehab. I have director of hospital, outpatient. And when you're an employee, let's face it, you still have a boss. If you do it on your own, you're going to be your own boss, and you decide who you want to work with. And those people that you want to work with are actually going to be really thankful for you. Hey, you've changed my life. Because just like here, would you work with us here in our masterclass if it wasn't a good match? You need to find a good match. Same thing with looking for your clients and patients. You need to find a good patient and ideal avatar. So my avatar, helping helping dementia caregivers bring out the best in them, because they really need to learn. They want to know about dementia patients. So Yolanda said, I started doing LA patient with another PT, and I did all types of therapy. That wasn't therapy. I used to what the patient wanted and made it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. Anything else before we turn off our Monday
Nah.
masterclass training?
I think that's good. But thank you so much, everyone, for being on and for being on the replay, being on the recording. And we will see you next week. So think about what your group name is. Think about what you want your brand to look like, your colors. What is your feel? Is it going to be a very professional feel, sort of a more fun feel? And then what do you want to say in your group? What should sort of be at the top of your profile and that? And we'll go through all of that more next week, but I want you to try to think and sort of prepare a little bit ahead of time. And go ahead and send me alternativehealthcarecareers@gmail.com, your guys' graphic info stuff. And then next week, we will try to do as much of it live as possible. Have a good night, everyone.
Okay, before I let you go again, I did a Facebook Live about going up in a mountain. And there's 3 things. We're going to go up in a mountain, guys. This is a big mountain that we're going to try to go up. And it's going to be hard. The first thing about mountains it says here, going up the mountain is going to be lonely. It's going to be lonely. A lot of, successful people, they say it's lonely at the top. Why? Because it's not crowded. And I want you guys to be successful, because when you win, we win. I win, because you guys are going to be really good. And I want you to win. And we want you to walk with us going up this mountain that we're trying to reach. What's the second thing about going up in the mountain? It says here, it's going to be hard work. It's not going to be easy. I've been doing this for 2 years, being a dementia, quote unquote, dementia expert. I mean, do you think I'm going to stop? No, I'm still going to keep going. I'm still teaching dementia. Once a month, I teach that Alzheimer's disease and dementia care seminar. Last month, it was so slow. I think, Emma, how many did we have last month?
It's probably 10.
Probably 10 people. Only 10 people. I charge, how much we charge? $247, Emma?
Yeah.
So $247. I only earned $2,400 that month, teaching once a month. I normally have like 20 to 30 students. And I don't stop marketing. Do you see me stop marketing in our alternative career group or in my Facebook page? No, I keep on doing it again and again, again and again, again and again. So it's going to be hard work. So it's not just one time. Hey, I've developed my website. Okay, I'm good to go. No, you're still going to keep on promoting that. Do you see me stop doing Facebook Live? No, you see me every day Facebook living. Is that if that's even a word? So you got to do it. You got to start doing it now. All right. So it's going to be hard work. What's the last thing about going up in a mountain? It's going to be intimidating. It's going to be scary. It is scary. When I did my first Facebook Live, oh my gosh, I'm like so stiff and I don't even know what I'm doing. And it's going to be intimidating, but that is just the first step because it's going to be a big challenge, but the bigger the challenge, the bigger the victory. And this is the perfect time to face this mountain that you're facing right now, because I'm here to guide you. Emma's here to guide you, because when you fall, we're going to help you get up, because you will fall. To tell the truth, I've fallen several times and I've failed several times. And it's not how many times you're going to fail. It's how many times you get up and we help you get up and do it all over again. All right. Again, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you, Emma, for leading this awesome masterclass tonight. And again, thank you very much. I will see you around Alternative
Bye.
Masterclass. Bye-bye.